welcome to FIH Hockey Monthly. In this edition, Pakistan striker Rehan takes us through the ups and downs of what has been a fascinating career. We find out how Great Britain is plotting a golden run in London. Up close and personal with India's teenage sensation Rani Rampal. And we quiz Adam Commons on the road ahead for the hockey rules. The Australian men's team retained the Oceania Cup after thrashing their Trans-Tasman rivals New Zealand 6-1 in the final game of their three-match series in Hobart. The Kookaburras would have lost their #1 ranking had they not won by 4 clear goals, but the world champions turned it on when it mattered. Glenn Turner got a hat-trick while Jamie Dwyer chipped in with 2 assists. The Hockeyroos, though, couldn't match their male counterparts, losing to New Zealand in the women's event. Australia needed a draw in the third and final game to win the title, but they came unstuck in the match, losing by 2-4. Charlotte Harrison, Kyla Charlon, Teresa Eshouse and Katie Glynn scored for the Black Sticks as they retained the title. Despite the loss, though, the Hockeyroos qualified for the London Olympics alongside New Zealand. A family reunion to celebrate the festive season is rare for Rehan. Generally, a packed international calendar and club hockey commitments in Europe keep the Lahore-born striker on the road for the most part. But this time, he's making the most of his time off by recharging his batteries in the run-up to the Olympics. With Pakistan having already qualified for London, this is a rare stress-free moment in the life of Pakistan's premier marksman. In a career spanning close to a decade, the game has propelled Rehan to superstar status and has become a way of life for him.
मेरी ज़िंदगी में हॉकी मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जैसे एक हस्बैंड और वाइफ का रिलेशन होता है.
For me, hockey is like a relationship between a husband and his wife. Even my wife often says that I love hockey more than her. So now you can very well understand that what hockey really means to me.
कि मेरे लिए हॉकी क्या मायने रखती है.
Growing up in the by-lanes of Lahore, Rehan, like most subcontinental youngsters, would split his time playing various sports. In his case, football, cricket and hockey. It was only in college that he realized his true calling, when he began to idolize one of the sport's greatest.
पहले बहुत बड़े-बड़े नाम हैं जैसे
There have been many legends of Pakistan hockey. Hassan Sardar, Hakeemullah, Samiullah to name a few. But the one that I followed was Shehbaz Senior. And I tried to learn from his game and he really inspired me to play hockey.
Even the great Shahbaz would have been proud of the way Rehan began his international career. In 2002, the 22-year-old became an instant hit, scoring twice in 4 minutes to help Pakistan snatch the Champions Trophy bronze from India's grasp. And scoring against the rivals soon became a habit.
The special thing in him that right from the beginning of his career he starts scoring against India, so that's why he get more famous. And the time he scores was something really special, and it was his first tournament. It was one of the toughest in the world, Champions Trophy, and we were losing. And then again he repeated it a couple of times. So I think, and even against some top teams, whenever Pakistan need goals, he always try to put the ball in the goal.
देखिए इंडिया पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ जब भी मैच होता है तो एक एशियन हॉकी होती है.
When India and Pakistan play, the motivation is different because there are a lot of emotions attached to win that game. And I feel those emotions when I play against India. And also if I play well, not only will I delight my people back home, but will also boost the confidence of our team.
पाकिस्तान जीतेगा तो उससे मेरी जो है कौम भी खुश होगी और स्पेशली पाकिस्तान टीम को कॉन्फिडेंस भी बहुत मिलेगा.
Pakistan won the bronze in the next 2 editions of the Champions Trophy as well, before falling into a bit of a trouble. But though continued his rise to stardom with goals such as this one against New Zealand in the 2006 PDO World Cup, which remains fresh in his memory.
वो मेरे लिए मैं समझता हूँ कि मेरी ज़िंदगी का बेस्ट गोल है. और वो जब भी मैं देखता हूँ
Even now when I watch that goal, I really feel good because I believe that's the best goal of my career so far. Whenever I look at it, I feel great and I say to myself I should score such goals regularly for Pakistan because Rehan Butt has that kind of ability to score such goals.
कि वो ये काम कर सके.
While Butt loves his role as a striker, he He's equally good on the wings, and it is this versatility that has made him a much sought-after player in the highly competitive Dutch team. He was Lauren's top scorer in the 2008 season, and he believes that playing alongside the world's best has helped round out some of his rough edges.
Definitely एक जो बात है कि आप नेदरलैंड्स में जाके
The Dutch league is one of the best leagues in the world, and most of the top players in the world play their club hockey over there. When you play with great players, you learn a lot, and all the league matches I played there, I played against some really good players, which helped me learn and improve.
लीग मैचेस खेले उसमें मुख्तलिफ अच्छे प्लेयर्स के साथ खेला और मुझे उससे बहुत कुछ सीखने का मौका मिला.
The benefits to his game were evident as Butt was named the Asian Player of the Year in 2008. On the team front, though, there was only disappointment. The Green Shirts finished 8th in the 2008 Olympics, and 2 years later in Delhi, their misery was complete when they reached the bottom of the table in the Hero Honda FIH World Cup. This resulted in the entire team announcing its collective retirement. After a few months of reflection, the players returned, and under the new coach, Michel van den Heuvel, completely turned things around to win the Asian Games title in Guangzhou. This was also Butt's first major championship goal.
हम जब भी कहीं जाते थे तो
Whenever we used to travel, everyone used to say Rehan Butt is a very good player, but what used to pinch me was that I hadn't won any gold medal for Pakistan. For a long time, we were trying very hard, and when we won the gold in Guangzhou Asian Games, every member of the team had tears in their eyes because it came after a lot of hard work. My first goal came in the 10th year of my international career. It was an amazing moment and a very satisfying one too.
Pakistan won't start among the favourites in London, but that doesn't stop Rehan from dreaming. A dream that ends with a gold medal around his neck.
See you in the London Olympics 2012.
The Hockeyroos ruling the roost in women's hockey is now a thing of the past. Their last Champions Trophy victory and Olympic gold are now just a distant memory. While the Australian men continue to rule, their women have consistently gone backwards since winning silver in the 2009 Champions Trophy. The sixth place finish at the Rabo FIH Champions Trophy resulted in their relegation from the next edition. That was followed by the defeat to New Zealand in the Oceania Cup as their road to London got bumpier. Despite the growing pressure though, new coach Adam Collins remains confident of a turnaround.
In Australia, there is always pressure on the national sporting teams to be successful. We're a very successful sporting nation. And hockey, and in particular the Hockeyroos, have been a really successful sporting team. And I think that there is a certain amount of pressure, but I think that what we need to focus on are the processes that we need to go through and have real belief in that over a sustained period of time. It's not going to be a 3 to 6 month project. It's not going to be a 12-month project. It's going to be something that's going to take a number of years, and we need to have some patience. We need to have some continuity and belief in the structures that we have, and that they will get us back to the top of the world, and I'm confident with belief and sustained effort that we can get there.
The appointment of 35-year-old Collins came after the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi. Collins, who coached the Belgian men's team between 2007 and 2010, infused some youth into the team when he came in. And like any young team, Australia's results too have been inconsistent. But their approach has been positive, and even their 6th place finish in the Rabo FIH Champions Trophy had a silver lining.
We've created the most penalty corner opportunities here, and we've created the most goal shots as well. We need to now look at how can we tighten up our defence and convert some of those chances that we're creating, because we certainly are getting there, and I think that's to do with the athleticism of the players that we've selected over the last 6 months.
The rebuilding phase will pose as many challenges for Collins as it did for his predecessor Frank Murray. And the former Australian midfielder who got Belgium playing attacking hockey under his management plans to stick with his modus operandi with the Hockeyroos as well. He is confident that it's only a matter of time before things fall into place.
In the past, the Hockeyroos have been a very attacking team, and they've had success by scoring more goals than the opponent. And that's something that I really would like to bring to this group, so our own brand of attacking free-flowing hockey. We do need to score, however, because if you send a lot of players forward, then you are susceptible to counter-attacks, and it's something that we are working on and making sure that we have some control in the back without throwing everybody forward. But certainly our brand of hockey will be one that's about scoring more goals than the opponent, just as the Australian men's team are at the moment.
Attack has often been the best form of defence, and that surely seems to be the mantra in the House of Commons. Whether they win the Olympics or not, this approach is guaranteed to win them hearts.
I do what I do.
It's half-time on the FIH Hockey Monthly, but don't go away as we uncover Great Britain's grand designs on the London Olympics. And catch up with an Indian schoolgirl who moonlights as an international striker. All that on the other side.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, whatever happens today, England have had a magnificent World Cup with a powerful mixture of skill, determination and sheer spirit.
The 80s saw the golden generation of British hockey. England won the silver in the 1986 World Cup, and then Great Britain went one better in Seoul 2 years later, winning the Olympic gold. For about 2 decades since that win, the team has struggled in vain to reach similar heights. Now though, there is a real optimism that Jason Lee's men's side and Danny Carey's women's squad will provide cause for celebration at the London Olympics. FIH Hockey Monthly caught up with some critical members of Team GB to find out just how they plan to fulfill their London dreams.
Well, I think you have to give a huge amount of credit to Jason Lee, the head coach, and David Faulkner, the performance director, who's put faith in Jason, and that sort of continuity from the coaching staff at the top, together with continuity in the playing group, and we've grown together.
Pre-2008, we knew that maybe we could compete with the top teams, but we very rarely believed that we were really going to win. There are a few players in the team that believe they could win, but that's never enough. You need everyone to buy in and everyone to really believe that you can do something special. And since then, with new players that have come in and the whole thought process and winning the Europeans in 2009, everyone now believes that we can beat the top teams in the world. We can beat Australia, we can beat Germany.
We're lucky we've had some good funding from UK Sport, from our government in Britain. So it's allowed the players to go much more, or commit more time to our training. So we're training on a weekly basis. The guys still have to go to work and the university, of course, so they're not entirely full-time hockey players. But we're being able to give an awful lot of time to try and do our preparation. We're probably 18 months ahead of where we'd normally be in a normal Olympic cycle as a consequence.
So firstly, in my early first year, we had to resolve the Great Britain issue, have the framework, everybody understands how they were going to communicate, how an athlete was selected, how coaches work. So that was the first thing. Second thing, I think we were very busy. We were doing a lot of things that weren't making a difference. So we've gone and done less things and doing better. And I think thirdly, is working very heavily in the coaching environment, the athletes. We've always had a talented pool of athletes, and we've always had a talented pool of coaches, but we've never aligned them. And we've worked on some very clear qualities. And the first major philosophy we worked to is that as an athlete goes through our system from when they're a junior to senior, we know what we're getting, and they know what is expected of them. And for me, culturally, that's been the big change.
Well, I think if you look back 5 or 6 years, we played a brand of hockey that minimised the chance of us losing games. Jason made the decision that for us to stand a chance of winning medals, we had to become a little bit more expansive and adventurous in the way we play, and I think that showed in the last few years. And you know, the European gold was an example of that. Champions Trophy silver and the World Cup were the results we got there were as a direct consequence of that decision, I think.
The confidence we have in each other's ability on the ball, it gives us the opportunity to trust each other and, be attacking. Whereas before, I think people worried that, we might lose the ball and we play more sort of percentage game where we play to keep it close and hopefully sneak wins. Whereas now we say that we just have to be good on the ball, and if we're not good on the ball, then we're going to lose, and if we are, we're going to win.
We've mentioned in the past, we have a thing called the Great Britain Framework, where all 3 home nations agree to operate to support Great Britain. The big move we've made is we train more often as Great Britain, even though we keep competing as home nations. So players come in, train as Great Britain for a period, then go off and represent their home nation either in a Champions Challenge, Champions Trophy, World Cup, European Cup, etc. We can't do any better than that now, but the training phase that we've put in and the ability to play matches as Great Britain in that training phase has made a big difference.
Maybe a little bit more, but we went to India, like you say, for the World Cup, and the atmosphere when India were playing in front of 15,000 people was incredible, and we're going to have that on our side in London. So. Yeah, maybe a bit more pressure, but also an incredible opportunity.
If we're going to be if we're going to play well, it's going to be significant, and it's going to be a pressured occasion at some point or other. So I think that if we can start to learn how to deal with the pressure and turn it to our advantage now, then that puts us in a good position for the Olympics, and we're trying to make sure we're working on
that. Well, I'd say we haven't said things with the team at the minute, and we don't want to put too much pressure, but yeah, there's no way we're not going to go there and want to win it. So I think that's going to be the goal. Whether it happens or not, who knows? But we don't want to go there without giving ourselves a chance of that.
A medal, really. We haven't got the depth that some of the countries have, but I think our best 16 are very, very competitive. And I think if we get them on the pitch, I think we can win a medal. I think we could challenge strongly for gold.
We want them to say, this is Great Britain, they've been consistently performing well over the past 4 years. Yeah, they're in with a real shout, and they've got the home support, which is going to be fantastic, and a home Olympics, it doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, they're going to be scary. That's what we want people to say, and it's exciting talking about it, really.
Rani Rampal burst onto the international stage at the age of 14 in the Olympic qualifier in Kazan in 2008, winning the Best Young Player award. She won the same award on an even bigger stage 2 years later at the BDO FIH World Cup in Rosario. Her 7 goals inspired India to their best World Cup outing in 32 years as they finished 9th in the 12-team contest, with Rani grabbing all the headlines.
बहुत अच्छी मूवमेंट थी वो उस टाइम पे कि जो मेरे को मतलब young player of the tournament.
It was a great moment for me when I was chosen the best young player of the tournament. The main thing is that those performances came against some of the best teams in the world, and playing against them made me a better player. So I learned a lot playing against players of high caliber, and I implemented a lot of different things in that event.
सीखने को मिला और कुछ बहुत सारी चीजें implement करने को मिली इस tournament में.
For Rani, the event in Rosario was all about living her dream. Not only did it help her earn a nomination for the FIH Young Player of the Year award, she also got to watch her idol Oceania weave her magic from up close.
जिस दिन उन्होंने वर्ल्ड कप जीता तो मैं अपना मोस्ट प्रॉमिसिंग अवार्ड
I did meet her once and even got a picture clicked with her. I really admire her game, especially as she is my idol. And the great thing was that I ended up scoring more goals than her, and I feel that soon even I can reach the level she is at.
उसे बहुत सारी चीजें सीखने को भी मिली और सबसे ज़्यादा खुशी मतलब इस बात की हुई थी कि मेरे गोल्स जो थे उससे ज़्यादा थे, उसके कम थे, तो मेरे को ऐसा लगा था कि मैं इसके लिए जल्दी इसके मुकाम तक पहुंच सकती हूँ.
While that surely looks like a tough act to follow, Rani, who is employed by the Indian Railways, looks to be progressing on the right track. Hailing from Shahbaz, considered as the nursery of Indian women's hockey, Rani was hooked to the game from the age of 9 after being spotted by coach Baldev Singh.
मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा प्राउड होता है कि मैं शाहबाद से हूँ.
I'm really proud that I'm from Shahbaz. It's a small city in Haryana, and I feel if there wasn't any hockey in Shahabad, nobody would have known the place. I feel really proud of my association. Also, I'm really proud that I played under a great coach, Baldev Singh, and I feel if I would have played somewhere else, I wouldn't have reached this far.
तो अगर कहीं और खेलते तो शायद लगता है कि हम इस मुकाम तक नहीं पहुंच पाते.
What once used to be just a momentary stopover alongside the historic Grand Trunk Road, an ancient route that used to link Kabul to Bangladesh via modern Pakistan and India, is now Indian women's hockey's primary breeding ground. Much of the credit for this, Rani believes, goes to the coach.
एक तो सबसे पहला ट्रेनिंग मैटर वो ही है कि वो बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है.
The first thing about Baldev sir is that he's very strict. I believe a coach needs to be strict in order to improve his players. The other thing is that he's very punctual and he trains us no matter how the weather is. He's very passionate about coaching and he wants to leave a lasting legacy in the world of hockey by doing things differently.
सिखाने का कि हाँ मतलब मेरे को कुछ अलग करना है दुनिया में कुछ अलग पहचान बनानी है.
After her dream start, Rani struggled somewhat in the Commonwealth Games and the FIH Champions Challenge 1. And while her talent is unquestionable, there are a few aspects of her game she needs to work on.
She is a very talented player. She got a fantastic skill. And her coach Baldev is also one of the key men in her game. That influence is there. And we expect some more. See, in her age group, she really is very good. But when you come to the top level of top 6 teams, she really marked tightly. In that she have to break and come. That barrier she have to break. For that she really need to improve her speed and strength. And hopefully we are insisting and we emphasize the importance of it. She's catching it. Hopefully in the coming camps we will definitely do that.
हम लोग इस चीज़ को खुद मानते हैं कि एक इंटरनेशनल हॉकी की डिमांड में स्पीड सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरी है.
We do agree that the biggest demand of international hockey is the speed of play. The Indians don't lack in skills at all. In fact, we are one of the best in terms of skill and others can learn from us in that aspect. But we do need to improve on our speed and we have to work really hard on getting the right balance between speed and skill.
Rani, which means queen, is eyeing the position that her idol Luciana Aymar currently occupies in women's hockey. It's a long and hard road and it may remain just a dream. But the good news is she's only 17. Time is on her side. That's the final hooter for this edition of the FIH Hockey Monthly. Next month, we turn our attention to the Euro Hockey League season. See you then.